You know, a lot of my friends keep asking me, I'm going to turn 35, I want to not go to the office, escape the rat race and withdraw money from my savings account. But the problem is, if I withdraw too much money from the savings account, then eventually this ghada will end and I'll have to work again. So the question is, if I want to retire, how much money do I need over here so I can withdraw every single month for the rest of my life, and this savings keeps increasing? In this video, we've researched and tested 25 years of Indian market data to figure out how much you actually need so you can start withdrawing and keep this growing. And in the end, you'll get an Excel sheet that helps you calculate your exact retirement number. So let's start with the first thing. What's SWP? It's basically the opposite of a SIP. You tell the mutual fund that you want to exit a certain amount every single month on a certain date. On that date, the mutual fund will exit certain units and give you that cash. And because you're not exiting everything in one shot, you will average out the exit as time goes by. So the question is, how much can you safely withdraw for the rest of your life? In 1994, an American financial planner called William
One withdrawal rate can survive or had survived under all historical conditions.
Looked at 75 years of data to figure out if someone retires today, how much can they withdraw every year without running out of money for the next 30 years. And when he was looking at the data, there was the Great Depression, there were world wars and the oil crisis, etc., etc. And he basically concluded that if a retiree withdraws some 4% a year, that corpus will actually never end or last at least 30 years. My first question was, what if this guy lives beyond 30? That would be a problem. So I think we'll solve for that in our Excel sheet as well. I want to show you another study by Trinity University. I think they did something interesting. Instead of just looking at equity like William, these guys took a mix of equity and bonds. So you can see at 3%, it's almost 100%. At 4%, it reduces slightly, 5, 10, 11, 12. Point is, the higher the withdrawal rate, more chances of it actually completely emptying. But the point is that this 4% withdrawal rate then became a rule. But you know, times change, because this was what, 1994. It's 2026 now. Maybe we should revisit, ask the basic questions, whether the 4% rule actually works in India or not. First, what I need is, I need some fund which has lasted some 26 years. So from the year 2000 to the year 2026. I found a fund and I'm going to use that NAV as data. Now this particular fund is a balanced advantage fund which shifts money from equity to debt. So one, I'll start from year 2000 to 2026 because I found this data. Two, I will start withdrawing every single month according to 4% a year. 3, I'll make sure I increase the withdrawal every year because by Mehengai, 6% inflation. So that withdrawal will also increase, adjusting for inflation. So let me plug this in. First, let me put 1 crore as the fund in the year 2000. Aram se, I know no one has 1 crore in the year 2000, but it's an easy number. You can use the link in the description, go to file, make a copy and put in your own number. This is just an example. Let's see what happens. Net, we need to see whether the corpus is growing or not. The NAV I got according to the data is 8.06. So that buys some 12 lakh units. Now let's suppose the SWP is a 4% withdrawal rate. 4% of 1 crore is 4 lakhs. That's 33,000 rupees per month. Now, what happens after 27 years? Year 1, the NAV is 7.53 and we withdrew some 4 lakh rupees. The corpus value is 89.5 lakhs. It's reduced because there was a dot-com bust and the Ketan Parekh scam. Now let's go to year 5. The corpus is now 2.29 crores. Year 9, NAV dropped to 51 because of the global financial crisis, but the corpus is at 3 crores. By year 20, we have the COVID crash and our corpus is 17 crores. I want you to think about this a little bit. over long periods of time, things smoothen out. Just like life in general, no? They say that the days are long, but the years are really short. And I think we can see it over here. Despite that COVID crash, the money is still worth more. Now let's finally go to year 26. It's now 48.8 crores and the NAV is 564. So the total withdrawal is 2.36 crores and the net in hand is net in hand. Why did I say net in hand? Because you have to pay, say it with me, tax. Cool. So the good thing is, the entire corpus you have, you don't pay tax on that. You pay tax when you actually realize the income, that is sell those units, and when that money hits your account because you sold it, you pay tax on it. There are two types of tax on capital gains. This is capital and you've gained money on that capital, therefore it's called capital gains. There is long-term capital gains tax and short-term capital gains tax. So for the first 1.25 lakh rupees that you earn, it is completely tax-free. Uske baad what you earn, you have to first categorize, was it long-term or short-term? If it's short-term, you'll be paying a higher tax rate, and if it's long-term, you'll be paying 12.5%. Now, if you would compare this with, say, a fixed deposit, the entire amount would be taxed according to your tax slab. So there's definitely some benefit for investing in equity when it comes to taxation, especially if it's long-term tax. But there is one bias over here. We picked a mutual fund. What if the mutual fund exceptionally did well and such a mutual fund will never happen again? So what we'll do is maybe we should do the same thing, but this time with the index. I'm going to take the Nifty 50 total returns index, which basically takes the dividends and reinvests it as well. What I'll also do is I'll make this 60% debt and 40% equity because this person is a retiree. He doesn't want to put too much money in equity. Let's start with year number 1. Just as we saw earlier, there was the dot-com bust, and we can see that the portfolio has actually fallen to 92 lakhs. I'm sure this must be very painful when this is actually happening. You've retired and your life savings has fallen, but let's see what happens next. In year 5, the corpus is now back to 1.17 crore. Notice these 5 years might seem a little frustrating. कि 1 crore तो था ही, अभी तक 1.17 है. But also note that the person is withdrawing every single year. That's not that bad. Then let's go to year 16 and we can see that demonetization has happened. And despite that market falling down, the corpus is at 2.8 crores. Year 21, post-COVID, the corpus is 4.5 crores. And now in year 26, the corpus remaining is 6.7 crores. Total inflation adjusted withdrawal, because I think 26 years is a very long period of time. So let's adjust for inflation so we can understand in 2026 numbers what it is. It's 2.3 crore rupees and yearly withdrawals have grown from 4 lakhs to 17 lakhs a year. So this is the point. Even the most boring portfolio where there's 40% money in equity, the rest is in debt, the money still went up. But the question is, this was at 4% withdrawal rate. Agar paisa hai, then why not increase that amount? Maybe we can do a few more trips after retiring. So at 4% withdrawal, the corpus remaining after all these years becomes 6.7 crores. But if I change this 4% to 6%, it actually becomes less, 4.5 crores. And if I change the 6% to 8%, then the corpus gets exhausted, leaving nothing to withdraw. So you see, if you change this number just a little bit, it can actually completely run out. So ya to you withdraw less or you have a larger corpus. And in between that is basically your life to figure out that corpus number. So this begs the question, how much do you actually need? 1 crore per month. No. How much do you actually need? Let's calculate that. Now comes my favorite part. We're going to figure out what is your number together. But actually, I'll figure it out with Nikhil first. Hey, what's up? Okay. So, how old are you? You're 30. He does not look 30. And when do you want to retire? He wants to retire at 35, so he has 5 years left. I'll start filling this up with him. 30 years old, living in a metro city. Monthly expenses is Okay, 50,000. Now this 50,000 that he wants to make a month, that's his expenses, in 5 years, there's this 6% inflation also. So if I add that, then that 50,000 is actually 66,911. With this, his annual expense at retirement is 8,02,000 multiplied by 12, right? And let's apply the 4% withdrawal rule. Another thing I'd like to do is assume a post-tax return of 8%. See, people say 12, 13% the market will give, but we should be conservative and we should also do post-tax. So on the lower side, we'll take 8%. And then we'll have the 6% inflation effect. The final number is risk. Risk. We've not spoken about the risk. And frankly, I think we need an expert to do this.
The single largest risk here is sequence of returns. So let's say if you have a 1 crore corpus and you decide to withdraw 60,000 rupees per month from this corpus, and the day you start SWP, let's say the market crashes. It takes a year or two from that levels for the market to recover. But because in the initial years of your corpus withdrawal itself, you withdraw like a chunk out of it. When the market recovers, your entire corpus is not invested in the first place. What this leads to is there is risk of that initially you would have thought that my corpus will last 10 years, but it might get depleted in 7 years itself. The second is the computation of the withdrawal rate itself in the first place. Most of the people, they compute it in a fashion where, let's say if I have 1 crore corpus in the market, I need 1 lakh rupees per month, and because the market gives 12% per annum, my corpus will never deplete. When you're computing the withdrawal rate, keep it as an inflation adjusted rate. So let's say the market gives 12% and inflation is 5 to 7%. Consider your withdrawal rate as around anywhere between 4 to 6% because that will take care of the real growth rate and not the nominal growth rate of the funds.
Cool. So if we go to the Excel, the final number is AR Rahman. I want to ask you to ask yourself this question. To me, AR Rahman is one of the greatest composers India has seen. I absolutely love his music, especially in Guru. Now, I want us all to guess. Does AR Rahman have enough money in his account to last his entire life? I think the answer is yes. Yet, he still works every day and produces all of this, and I'm sure he got to financial freedom many, many years ago. I think the same is true for Shah Rukh Khan and Virat Kohli, maybe Sachin Tendulkar, anyone you mention. All these people who are at the top of the game even today are still working. I've had the privilege of meeting some really wealthy people in my life, and let me tell you, nobody wants to retire. It's the biggest curse you can have. You know what you want to do? You don't want to be free. You want to have the option of being free. To be fearless, you need a money safety net. The safety net will come from the emergency fund, from the SIP, from the SWP plan. And let me tell you a little secret. You will earn probably more money than you ever have at the age of 45, 55 than you are earning right now. If you're improving every single year, this is bound to happen, and you must believe that the universe will conspire to do something in your favor. So, what 01 is trying to do is trying to figure it out on an Excel sheet so you can become fearless here, so you can actually do the best work, because the best asset is not your portfolio, is actually your skill. No one respects a bank account. They respect whether you're a good human being and whether the skill is good. So now I'm going to show you the number here. I want you to look at this number, understand it, calculate it for yourself, but understand that the number does not matter as much as how much you do. So fear nikalna hai, safety net banana hai. So I open this up over here. That final number is, actually, you know what? I'll let it be on the screen. And you tell me, if you introspected, what did you think about retiring now? Tell me your entire story in the comments below.